Isaac Newton, Steve Jobs, Ernest Hemingway, Abraham Lincoln, um, Sylvia Plath, so many more names I can take. Vincent Van Gogh. They all had one thing in common amongst them. Other than the fact that they were obviously exceptional at what they did and they were very famous, the one thing that was common amongst all of them was the fact that they were battling at least one or more forms of mental illness. And a lot of studies have been undertaken on the connection between exceptional creativity and mental illness, and doctors have tried to see whether people with exceptional creativity and a higher than average IQ are more prone to mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and so on. And there is a school of thought that believes that that is the case. However, the reverse is not true, which means that if you are really creative or if you have higher than average IQ, it does not necessarily mean that you have a mental illness. Um, Now, having been somebody that has lived with treatment resistant depression and anxiety for over 25 years, what I want to say is that, if you look at all the names that I took, whether it was a Steve Jobs who struggled with obsessive compulsive personality disorder all his life, or whether it was Marilyn Monroe who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, they all led exceptional lives, extraordinary lives, and left a mark on the world. And people are still talking about them years after they are no more, right? But on the other hand, they also led extremely painful, extremely struggle ridden, difficult lives because they were battling with a monster in their own minds, right? Mental illness often is a war with your own mind, and that's what makes it so difficult. It robs you of vitality, it robs you of the will to live, the will to do things, and it basically makes everything very, very difficult. So, the only thing that I want to say through this video is that for organizations, and particularly organizations that are focusing on diversity, equity, and inclusion, it's perhaps now time to really look at how they can make workplaces more conducive for people that are struggling with mental illnesses such as anxiety, depression, PTSD, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. It's time for them to look at people on the negative end of the spectrum of mental health, right? Because it's no longer enough to say that, hey, this is a safe space for you to talk. Hey, we encourage you to seek help. Hey, we encourage you to go see a doctor. We encourage you to take therapy. I think all of that is great, and we've obviously made some kind of a start. But I think what's really important is to make real policy changes, reevaluate the way we look at, maybe performance metrics for that matter, and make workplaces truly inclusive for people that are battling one or more forms of mental illness, so that they really feel like they belong, as opposed to feeling like they uh, you know they don't really belong and the system is actually against them, instead of being in favor of them. I think it's time that diversity leaders thought about it. It's time that organizations thought about it and really did something about people that are battling serious mental health disorders in our country, and that number is not a small number anymore. So it's not a problem that can be ignored anymore. Thank you very much.